Hello everybody and welcome back to another vinyl record review. Today we have the 2024 album from MJ Lenderman, Manning Fireworks. The cover is a painting. I don't know too much about it, but it's got some very American looking father figures and then a very American looking firework, presumably. One of them's drinking, one of them's smoking. It's pretty cool. The back of it has some fish. Looks like a pike. Maybe that's a bluegill. Maybe that's a panfish. I don't know. I'd like to imagine that as such. And it's got the track listing. On the inside, we have a yellow sleeve. It's hard to open. Sorry, guys. We've got yellow sleeve with the lyrics, and on the back it has some of the more production side of things, and record itself is black with the yellow track listing on it. This album is a slacker rock album, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a indie mixed with a little bit of country twang, as Mr. MJ Lenderman is from North Carolina. That's why his name is MJ Lenderman, because of Michael Jordan. This is his, I believe, his second studio album. I believe he has a couple of mixtapes before that. But it's coming off the precipice of his 2022 album, Boat Songs, which features some good songs, especially Hangover Game. I really appreciate that one. And you should give it a listen. But this one is just a more... he's locked in more on that style. I originally heard this album, heard about songs by MJ from the SiriusXM channel, The Spectrum, which is like new rock, newer indie, folkier rock, country-ish too, mixed with older rock, such as like Bowie, they play a lot of in the Beatles, which is a great mix, and it works really well. Some Bob Dylan too. And I bring that up because there is a lot of great artists coming from this area. I don't know if it's just been shoved down my throat so much that I really like it, but it's just very enjoyable music. MJ is one of them. I also really like Eddie 9-Volt, who's a more bluesier artist with a nice deep voice. Actually, his album Saratoga made it on my top 10 list of 2024, I believe. And like other artists like Mumford & Sons, they're kind of coming back. I don't know if I appreciate their stuff as much. I'm not really into that. But like it is better sound-wise than I will wait for you. And another group that's really coming up and really pushing that comeback is the Lumineers. No more ho-hays for them. Their latest album, one of my tops of 2025, and their songwriting has just gotten really good and really locked in. And so I bring that up because that scene, I feel like, I guess it is getting more mainstream appeal, because I did see this one on a lot of people's album of the year lists, looking back on it, and now have finally listened to it. And I just love this scene. It's not really unique to him because other artists have done it. He's in a band called Wednesday, which featured his ex-girlfriend. And they sound like this. There's other groups that are like this. But it's just this style I really like. Let's go over the track listing real quick. It opens with Manning Fireworks, which is just a great tone setter. Sets the scene for the album, and it kind of like drags along, but in like one of the best ways possible, because it's got this like country twang, like boom 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 boom, and it just keeps dragging on with that, and it's great. And the lyricism is not as deep as possible, but it's very it paints a very good picture. It kind of reminds me of the Fish lyricism, which kind of makes no sense at times, but it does paint very vivid pictures. Like when you hear about antelopes running, you're going to picture a running antelope. You know what I'm saying? Or like a picture of Nectar Cavern, that song. Stuff like that. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. I probably just sound like a lunatic right now. So it sets up the album really nicely. After that, we've got Joker Lips, which is just a more like motel vibes, I guess. I don't know if I'm not really doing it justice, but this one's a little more like dirtier, slightly dirtier, and not as locked in as Manning Fireworks, but I think it's great, with like everyone's confidence and stuff like that. After that, we've got Rudolph, which is a more locked in, like a harder song for sure. And reading through some of these lyrics, like I can't get over how fun and funny they are. Like they're really good. For someone like me. The one issue I do have with this guy is his voice is kind of grating to some and is kind of very, very annoying to some. I think it works well. I think it's kind of a Bob Dylan-esque thing. It's not very professional, but it does work well. This is not comparing him to Bob Dylan in any way. Bob Dylan is way better than MJ Lenderman. But MJ does have that potential. Like, he's not going to change the world or anything like Bob. But he does have that potential, I feel like, to be a big rock star like that. Folk star. Whatever. After that, we've got Wristwatch, which is one of the bigger songs off the album. I think it was the second one I heard. And I really like this one. It starts off with an homage to Come On Feel the Noise by Quiet Riot. So you say I got a funny face, it makes me money. And again, the lyricism, it just keeps coming in. And then after that, we've got the biggest off the album, She's Leaving You. I heard this one on the Spectrum a lot. But I do like this one. It's about this girl leaving you. I know. Wild. And then after that, on the second side, we have Rip Torn. I didn't really remember this with first listens, but listening to it again, I really, really like this. It's just the lyricism. I can't get over how good it is going back to it and really diving deep into it. Like, you can totally feel this scene he's painting, and I think he does that really, really well. Is the instrumentation the best? Not necessarily. Like, I think it's really good, and it's good for the scene it's trying to do, but it's not, like, anything to write home about. But after that, we do have my favorite off the album, You Don't Know the Shape I'm In. The vocals are just great on this one. The story is great on this one. And then the instrumentation one on this one is really good, and you can feel the emotion and the lyricism. The instrumentation is great. He talks about a clarinet singing its Lonesome Duck Walk, then a clarinet comes in, and it sounds like a duck walk. That's just something I find really great. I don't think other people are gonna like it as much, but I just find it great. After that, we have On My Knees, which was a sleeper on first listen, but I do really like this one when I went back to it. It's just another one that builds this atmosphere, which, if you guys remember my latest video, the 6 reasons an album can be perfect, atmosphere was one of them, and this definitely has a personal connection to me. After this, we have the closer, Bark at the Moon, which does have small little section in the beginning of it. It does have some lyricism and stuff like that. But the end of it, it's kind of like a droning, in a good way, with guitars, outro, that I think just plays very, very well on this album, and to kind of make it more cohesive of a project. all these songs, some of them are not the best things you'll ever hear. But I think with the atmosphere and stuff like that, I think it's great. I think this album is... Some songs are sleepers off this one. Like, yeah. I think this album is a 95 out of 100. And I think if I had to redo my albums of 2024, I think I might put this above Scrapyard by Quadeca, but behind Samurai by Lupe Fiasco. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, leave a like. Subscribe if you want. That's cool. Do whatever, guys. Just have a great day. All right, bye.